Hello everyone and welcome back to the GG League. This is game 2 of a best of 3 between Kompas Gaming and Osliki Gaming, with OSG taking a 1-0 lead in the last game with their 3 pseudo-snowball heroes, mainly on the back of the Bat Rider. Taking a lot of map control, kind of seizing control of the game and just getting more ahead and eventually winning the game. But this is going to be the English broadcast brought to you by Heflatv. My name is Roxas, and with me once again for Game 2 is Don Horatio.
I'm back.
Oh, wow.
Don't worry, I made it.
Did you go anywhere?
No, I just sat here.
I didn't know. Where'd you come back from?
I don't even know, but, well, we got Bat Rider banned pretty fast. Osliki Gaming pretty afraid of their own Bat Rider, so they ban it out. They just don't want to be that guy, I guess. But they're also second pick, so
yeah, I think it's just one of those things where if you have first pick, well, you first pick it, and therefore you don't have to play against it. But if you don't have first pick, you ban it. Kind of the same dichotomizing philosophy of a team is really has a high propensity to pick a certain hero. So if you're playing against Scythe, for instance, they're going to have a propensity to pick Naga Siren if they're on Radiant, just because that's Miracle's favorite hero on Radiant. And you can say, okay, we're going to ban it because we know that they want to pick it and they have to adjust, which is going to make them uncomfortable. Or you say, this is what Puppy is really good at, in my opinion. It's just saying, I know that they're going to pick it, so I'm just going to prepare to play against it and do well against it. So that's a slight sidetrack, as we were just waiting for the first bands to come out. But once again, it's going to be Tidehunter and Brewmaster banned out, and Tinker going to be the other band. So the hero that is left in the pool, do you remember what was banned? That was
there was a Lycan.
Direside Lycan is in the pool now. That was a hero that was banned previously and is not banned now, so it is available if Kompas wants to take it. A hero that we see some teams still taking priority from, some doing pretty well with it, and some not really doing as well. I think that hero is pretty balanced now as far as his previous self is concerned, but we'll see if Kompas Gaming decide to go for it. As far as other strong heroes, Invoker still in the pool once again if they want to pick that up for Jet, and they go for the Direside Lycan ultimately. So
yep, nothing too surprising there, and they could have gone either way. I mean, thankfully the patches have made it so that Direside Lycan isn't some unbeatable behemoth of just a massive son of a bitch, I guess. But is he actually the son of a bitch then?
I guess so.
Is he have a oh god, I hope it's not a human father and a wolf mother. That'd be pretty.
I don't know.
That'd be pretty freaky.
The only thing I think of is
actually, that's not how lycanthropy works at all. So that's definitely not what happened.
The only thing I think of is Skyrim, where there's lycanthropy, and this is unrelated, but in the Dawnguard thing, where you have the vampire house, I kind of imagine Lycan in that setting, except obviously being wolves and not vampires, but
potentially.
But anyway,
it could be it.
The cool thing though about Direside Lycan in general is he's really, really flexible. Whereas it used to be that you pick Lycan, you know that there's just going to be a pretty all-in push shot, which he's very strong at. But he kind of takes place kind of like a poor man's Luna in a way, where you farm decently. You have a lot of physical damage that comes out for free. For Lycan, it's Feral Impulse and Howl. For Luna, obviously, it's Lunar Blessing as well as Moonglaze. They're going to be able to give you a lot of physical damage, a little bit less concentrated, a little more spread out. So the thing about it is, on the dire side in particular, using those abilities means that you can ensure Roche pretty early. Luna can't solo Roche early on the same way that Lycan can, so she's a bit weaker in that regard. However, what both the heroes have in common is that if you lose a team fight against them, your towers go down. Just your whole base dies. And that's the really strong thing about Lycan as well, is because he's flexible, you can just use him to ensure that you win a team fight and the towers go down more quickly and ensure that you take Roche quickly. You don't have to go all in push strat. So Disruptor going to be picked up right away. I think that was a huge part of their victory in the last game. Plus, it's particularly good against Lycan before he gets his BKB. As long as you can get the vision with something like a Mirana Sacred Arrow or a Rocket Flare from Clockwork, even if you're really good, you can get the vision from a Sunstrike from Invoker. You can glimpse him back pretty easily when he's in his wolf form. But they're going to go with the Centaur Warrunner. They want to keep up with him at maximum speed if they're going to be chasing him.
Yep. It'll be interesting to see how effective the Disruptor is this game, because last game he had his best buddy, Batrider, just setting up everything for him. So it's going to be a bit harder this game without the completely obvious stuff. They do have a Blink Centaur, which will help out at some point, but it's not as reliable as that like full duration lasso, just trapping someone and pulling them back where you are already too. So it's going to be Disruptor will be better positioned, or will have to show good positioning. I mean, I'm not saying he was bad in the last game. I'm just saying he'll have to be on point this game if he wants to actually make this hero work. Because
there's certainly a little less room for error for sure.
Yeah, exactly. You can't screw up now, and you will see probably a few more not complete overlaps with the static storm kinetic field combination, which I mean was every time on the money last game. So we'll have to see how it pans out. It's Disruptor's. He's good at setting up heroes, and he's good at being set up for, which is pretty interesting. Two different ways to look at it, but well, we got a bit of a minion strat building up here.
Are so good together. If I had the time, I would look up the stats, but anytime you have like Lycan and Nature's Prophet on the dire side, I feel like can just win a game by themselves sometimes. Just because you have the Howl that affects the trees, both of them will go Necrobook. They're both very good split pushers. They both allow you to have access to Roshan very easily. And Nature's Prophet, once again, he's a pretty flexible hero. Like, he's not a hero that only relies on his push. He's not like Death Prophet or anything like that. So it's just, like, those heroes are so strong on the dire side. I could go on for days describing it. So now it becomes Osliki saying, we gave this away, how are we going to deal with it? They banned Shadow Shaman. They also ban out Jakiro, two supports that are very good synergizing with those heroes, as well as the pushing power with Liquid Fire, as well as Mass Serpent Wards. Kompas ban out the Slark. They don't want to have to deal with that again. Not to mention, Lycan can't really escape the Pounce Leash with his ultimate. They also ban out Shadow Demon, because the Shadow Demon Disruptor Centaur, that setup, pretty hard to deal with. But Osliki, they go with the Skywrath Mage. I know a hero that you don't really like a whole lot, but
I like him situationally. If they could just fight
do you like him
constantly,
in this situation?
I am not sure yet. I don't like picking him third, but we'll see how they draft out around it.
It's a no-cast animation, very long-range silence against the Lycan.
It is nice, but if the fight's already started, if you can't get the silence off on the Lycan will eat you for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you can't. I don't know. We'll see how it pans out. I mean, the problem with Skywrath Mage, you have to execute very well. Your positioning needs to be immaculate because the hero is just so damn squishy, and you have to work around. You have to use the Skywrath Mage. You can't just have it and not have a plan. So I'm curious to see what Osliki's lineup shapes up to be and how they want to use it. It's Skywrath Mage. I've gone from thinking it's a terrible hero to thinking it's situational, which.
You think a lot of good heroes are terrible, so I just don't believe
but
you.
I've been convinced that Skywrath has a place in I've seen it happen often enough and be used effectively that I think it works.
Let's just be honest. I think every hero has a place in the game except Broodmother.
I refuse to agree with that. Or an effective place. A lot of heroes can do things, but whether they can do them well or not is up to interpretation. Whereas Skywrath,
I just think Doom is. I don't
Doom's
know, man.
stupid. Doom does that one thing really well where he dooms people.
The thing about Doom is he's just too good at everything. He farms like an anti-mage, and I don't know.
Doom's ridiculous.
Anyway, speaking of Doom, we could see him picked up, but Skywrath Mage looks like it's going to be a support Skywrath Mage, something that we see rarely just because all his spells cost a lot. So you're going to have to be really, really conservative if you're in the support role just because you're not going to have the mana regen, mana pool items as early as you would if you were, say, a mid Skywrath Mage. Mm-hmm. But Timbersaw going to be picked up. A hero that's very good against the Lycan for being a strength hero, has the ability to burst him down, especially because he's pretty squishy after the Shapeshift nerf. Plus, also, this means that Nature's Prophet has absolutely just no control over him. Using the trees and sprouts you can't do it. He just hits Q and all your trees disappear, or you sprout and he's like, oh, thank you, and he Timber Chains to it. But now there's a hero that's a real pain in the dick for Timbersaw in the Nyx Assassin. It's going to be able to spike the Carapace during his spells, and it looks like they're going to be throwing the Nature's Prophet into the mid lane to be going up against probably the Timbersaw. But what do you think about this Timbersaw pick? Because I think this hero is pretty weak most of the time, unless he's against at least 3 strength heroes, at very least 2. Plus, in Nature's Prophet, I think is kind of the exception of he's really good against Nature's Prophet, even though he's not a strength hero, just because of the complete lack of control and the fact that Nature's Prophet in general has a very low health pool. Yeah, but Timbersaw's going to have a tough time here, I think.
I think there are 3 pretty low health pool heroes here. Nick's Assassin obviously a bit more survivable just by the fact that he can potentially go invisible and he has a Spike Carapace. But yeah, it's in this situation, it's up to Timbersaw having a good start in the lane as well. Like against a bunch of strength heroes, you can come back from having a poor start by being able to just demolish strength heroes. But Lycan is a bit of a harder one to catch up to and actually finish off as a strength hero. And I mean, I don't know. The thing is, they have a really nice AoE combo potentially. If they could get a nice Blink Stomp from Centaur on 2 or 3 heroes, and then Timbersaw just runs through with AoE, that combo is ridiculous, basically.
I think the other thing too is that Timbersaw isn't really that good anymore unless he's put in a one-on-one against a strength hero mid. I think that's just the main reason to pick him up, because he can get those Bloodstone at a decent time. He picks up a bottle nice and early. He gets a lot of experience and pretty uncontested levels and a lot of last hits. And he can get like mana boost and point booster, and he can kind of do a whole lot as long as he's just conservative. You can't exactly go ham yet, but you can do a lot when you get just those couple items up. And I think that this was just an anticipation of putting the Lycan mid, which I guess they still could do. It could be a Nyx Assassin support, but I don't know if it's going to be that great. And so it looks like it'll be a safe lane Ember Spirit. The best thing about picking this hero up as the carry is he just has insane high ground defense. You can stand back, you can spam Sleight of Fist, and just because there are going to be so many minions with all the Treants and Necro minions as well, you're going to be having that Sleight of Fist damage going on almost forever, which means a lot more damage for your Battle Fury as well. So Kompas Gaming, I think a Clinks actually sounds pretty good here. They could go for another pusher. I think Death Prophet is really good against Ember Spirit and Timbersaw in particular because of the AoE silence, not to mention the synergy with Exorcism to push. But they go with that hero.
Yeah, I mean, he's ridiculously good against Timbersaw. He's
good against everyone, man. I just hate that hero so much.
But like I mean, Osliki's lineup is their early game is gonna have to. I just don't know. I'm curious to see how it pans out where they do try to lane things. Looks like show me. So okay, this is that support Skywrath Mage, which I don't like as much as core Skywrath Mage, to be honest, because having the levels makes a hero actually useful when he's actually has the potential to do something. Because like Skywrath Mage, if he gets a really nice level start and level advantage, does so much damage to squishy heroes, but if you put him in a support role, he doesn't have an impact until a point where maybe heroes are close to BKBs and things like that. I'm not sold on it pretty much. Well, and
let's just see how the game works out. So, looks like from KPG, down 1-0 or 0-1 in this series, looking to bounce back with their dire side push strat. Goric going to be going the offlane as your Furion. Rubik going to be played by the stand-in Fi Solo Meko, and in the tri-lane as the Doom, it's going to be Artis on the 1 position. It looks like the support Nyx Assassin going to be played by Killick, and going in the mid lane, it looks like they anticipated the lanes correctly. It will be a mid Timbersaw matchup 1v1 against a melee strength hero. It'll be Jet playing on your Lycanthrope.
Yep, we got Judo taking up the off lane for Osliki Gaming on the Centaur Warrunner. Like I said, Timbersaw will be heading mid to face the Lycan. Treants being sent in and dealt with, though, by Bignum on the Skywrath Mage and Obi-Wan Banan on that Disruptor. And last but not least, we got Ink Visitor up on another highly mobile carry in the Ember Spirit.
Yeah, very similar to the Slark as well. Tree going to get away with 17 HP. Wait, trees have health regen?
I guess so. It doesn't show it.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't show it. I always thought they just didn't have health regen.
He's certainly getting a health back, so
I mean, that doesn't make any sense.
I don't know, man.
Physically, it's kind of like Ravage makes no sense. Like, what makes tentacles come out of the ground in all directions?
Tidehunter hunts the tide, and he brings it to him, and it creates tentacles.
Well, Chomi has a fantastic block once again. And this is a really, really lucky rune picked up from Bignum. I think Illusion Rune is just one of the best runes level 1.
I think it is. I want to say it's that. Okay, Haste, depending on the hero, Haste is obviously really good. DD is obviously really good. But Illusion, normally not a rune you want to get, but it definitely has a lot of impact level 1 as opposed to maybe potentially later on, especially for I don't know, just a hero that can come and harass mid like this.
Yeah,
actually dual laning this, or is he just chilling out?
I think he's just chilling out. I hope they don't dual lane this, because Timbersaw needs levels,
I don't like dual lane Timbersaw.
I
really don't.
Unless it's with a Lich, but I mean...
I don't even like that. Lich makes boring games.
Wow.
And then they lose, and then it's really annoying. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Lich. I think Lich promotes not what's the right word to use here? It promotes really, really passive laning for that team, and then they just get torn apart because they don't even have a strong lane, and then they try to like make this Lich thing work. He's really squishy too. I don't know. It just never seems to work out quite as well as you would think. But.
Well, looks like it's going to be a dueling mid, just kind of straight off, because Inquisitor and Obi-Wan just being left to their own devices in the bottom lane, whereas Gork just starts off straight in the jungle. I don't know, man. I feel like you can lane against this, but they commit the ward to watch the rune instead of watching this other spot, so... Or actually, wait, where's their other ward? Do they not have another observer ward?
Who,
Oh, Rubik is just holding on to the other ward. He didn't give Nature's Prophet a ward.
He needs it. How else will he see?
I don't know, man. Furion is like... You go boots first Furion, it's so easy to see ganks coming with your trees, and you gain so many more levels than you do in the jungle. Speaking of which, there's a haste rune. Gork, he just has to TP out. Interesting that he didn't have a point in Ancient Seal there. He leveled up the Arcane Bolt so that he could harass the Lycan up in the mid lane, but if he had the Ancient Seal, would have been able to cancel that TP, but Jet, he's going to be having a sad time, so at the very least, Chomi, even though he's lacking a little bit of experience, he's getting a lot of CS here. Already sitting at 15 and 5. Actually, interestingly, missed those with the Whirling Death. But they're going to be going for this.
Jet's going to be in trouble here. I mean, there's another Arcane Bolt.
And just one more Whirling Death, one more Timber Chain as well. But just the right click's going to be able to clean him up. Chomi going to be taking the tower hits a bit.
He's getting reactive armor up.
I mean, he needs to bottle up, man. He's a
Skywrath.
He's going to be a telekinesis back. It's going to be fine. Oh god, the tower hurts so much. You have 0 armor.
It truly does.
He has 1 armor now.
Yeah, well, dueling mid, not necessarily great for Timbersaw's experience, but finding kills will certainly help make up for that. And
it's more about shutting down the Lycanthrope.
Yeah, he's getting
2 last hits. Now he has to go to the jungle. He's like, hey Gork, go off lane. I need the jungle now.
He's getting bamboozled pretty much, but on top lane.
Level 2 wolf, so top lane, and well, clap was cancelled, but Judo after the impale gonna be able to get him. So we got a little bit greedy there. He was manning up on Artis, but he popped the Scorcher. Was able to live, and even with 260 mana pool, was able to have enough for the Devourer as well as the clap for the Hellbear Smasher to help him there. It looks like they're just gonna be throwing the Rubik mid now, as Lycanthrope is in the jungle. He doesn't want to deal with that anymore. And now Chomi's just gonna be 2 levels ahead of Rubik.
Yeah, we'll see if they try to get aggressive and punish this Lycan jungle. I feel like they don't really have a huge. Well, I don't know. They could try to. Disruptors, he kind of needs level 6 to really do too much, which is the problem. Glimpse is nice and all, but you have no real way to add to any way to pressure this Lycan, so they'll probably get away with this, honestly.
Yeah, it would seem so. I think everyone's kind of happy to get their farm. Top lane, by the way, they managed to. There was a rotation up there from Bignum, able to secure the kill there. He's just rotating so well in the Skywrath. This is one of the things that I really like to see, is just one support just being so active early on. Like, supports are so good. Like, yeah. I don't know, man. Just
Skywrath, this is what you have to do with the hero, and this is the way I like to see it used. I mean, they had a plan with this. Their plan was to go walk around just killing dudes from the start with the Skywrath Mage, and it's worked out. He's level 4.5 right now. Not too shabby for him. So
his high movement speed is ridiculous too. He's got the 2nd highest in the game with CK.
Rubik's in a little bit of interesting situation here.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna eat the Arcane Bolt or cut the shot as well. There's the Ancient Shield and the Arcane Bolt, and the Timber Chain gonna be airballed. He's like, wait, I already deforced it there, but never mind. Right click's gonna be able to get him. Actually, the creep kills him, so it was an assist.
That's a little bit annoying. Actually.
26 damage creep. That's the worst thing too. You're like, really? 26 damage got that?
Yeah, and he just like pinged out the tree surface. He's like, god damn it! Like after that kill, so he knows what he missed. Oh, Killick means some trouble here, and he's just
wow,
dead.
Skywrath mage right clicks, man.
I don't know, really. I mean,
he's already involved in every single kill that's happened.
What was Nyx even doing there? I don't even understand.
He dropped a sentry ward, but he had no uphill vision.
But, yeah.
And then, fortunately, there's a Timber Chain here to this spot.
Support. I mean, I was already complaining about support Skywrath, but he's showing me that if you're roam and you're effective, it works out. But support Nyx Assassin is also a questionable proposition.
I was watching some TI3 VODs. Just I don't remember why. I was like a relay video on YouTube. It's like, oh yeah, I'll watch this game again. And it's so weird to see some of the heroes that were picked up that you like knew were supports, like Naga Siren and Nyx, for instance. I just like never run a support anymore. Timbersaw going to be a little bit annoying in the bottom lane or in the top lane. Nature's Prophet TP's in, but well, I mean level 3.
What's he gonna do, man? He's Nature's Prophet. He just
you can like sprout him and make him hit.
This is all 5 heroes chasing down this Timbersaw.
This is.
They'll get him, I think.
All right, well
yeah, they got you got him, guys. You did it. I got nothing else to say. That was hilarious.
I mean, they did get him.
Yes, they did.
That's correct.
Kill secured.
Inquisitors finished up a Reign of Aquila. So a lot of people do forget that Ember Spirit is an agility hero. Not a hero that usually builds just agility hero items. So that's going to benefit him a lot. Not to mention the when you have just such low base region anyway. Well, top lane. Stampede going to be used. There's the Ancient Seal as well. Double Edge going to be able to secure the kill on the Doom. Whereas the Fade Bolt going to be thrown out just to be harassing a bit. Howl is used. Let's see if they're going to get anything. The Impale was thought about, but
Skyrock, you need to be careful up here, buddy.
Oh no, there's the Ancient Seal. There's the Mystic Flare! Well, this is with Telekinesis on the Judo as well. Just a couple more right clicks on the Killick. One more Double Edge will be able to secure it as well. He has the Stick Charges in. The Arcane Bolt going to ominously follow him, but Spike Carapace is going to be there. There's the Impale as well, but you can't Spike Carapace this next one. And that's going to be a dominating streak for your Skyrock Mage just 7.5 minutes in.
You might be losing that dominating
keeps
streak.
thinking about TPing in. He throws out the Sprout as well. Judo, he's going to go down, but Skyrock Mage.
I think they could have gotten that Skyrock Mage.
He has 375 movement speed, man. Jet, in the meantime, he's gone back to the mid lane. He's taking a lot of harassment. He's like, oh god, now I remember why I left. And it's just
I'm pretty sure that Centaur was dying anyway. I think Gorek could have gone for the Sprout on the Skyrock Mage. I think it would have definitely been worth it. I mean, like, go for that. I mean, Centaur's probably dead, and getting the dominating streak on a very easy to kill hero that's running away with no mana at half health, and you have a chance to Sprout him, and he just didn't go for it. So, I don't know.
That's funny. The Wolves were coming to try to deny the rune, and Timbersaw just chains and kills them both instantly while they were invisible. He just found free gold, basically.
Sounds like my never.
Well, you don't play Lycan, so.
Well, yeah, that heroes. I don't know. I tried once. It didn't go well.
I just remember that time that you random to Lycan, and you're like, no. But this was when he was like really broken too.
Yeah.
You're like, no, I don't want them to have to deal with this. I'll repick. And then they instantly picked Lycan, Vengeful Spirit, Shadow Shaman, and Dragon Knight.
It's like,
and you're like, I was trying to be nice.
Dude, people don't care. People are assholes.
Yeah. Well, the Invis rune picked up from Chomi. It looks like they were trying to hunt the Lycan jungle, but he either sniffed something out or wanted more farm in the mid lane, so he goes back there. Looks like they can wrap around the tower, but there is Gorek. He's ready to retaliate if something's there, but there's going to be the Stampede. Use the Ancient Seal. It's a little bit too late as the Shapeshift got off immediately, and Sprout does absolutely nothing against Timbersaw. Timber Chain is there as well, the one tree by the Roche Pit, and they're going to be able to get away. So that was 2 rotations as well. No one farming
That's their entire team again.
It's Timbersaw. He gets Carapace again. It looks like they're just going to all 5 kill Timbersaw.
Well, 4. Oh. Are you kidding me?
Reactive armor is really good. He has a TP. Just TP.
Oh, that was a nice little. Oh! My goodness gracious! Are you kidding me?
Dire structures are fortified. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh! I just peed a lot. That was like amazing. Holy baloney. I don't have anything else to say about that. That was awesome. Oh my god.
You do have Doom, you do have Hal, you do have level 4 Wolves, you do have Treants, so.
Yeah,
looks
I
like
have max range Timber Chain. They can't catch me. Oh shit, so does he.
He has Timber Chain.
Oh, that was. Oh my goodness, that was. Oh. Oh.
That was just hilarious.
I love seeing that. That was good stuff.
I was more highlighting the fact that he like, because you can channel your TP in mid Timber Chain, and it like has the TP animation here when your body's over here. And I just kind of had that on screen and thought it was funny, and then I just see a Rubik
Gorek,
King,
you are taking damage. You are dead. He's dead. They got him.
Yeah, they got him. I was looking at the mid lane.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, he just died to a glimpse.
Oh, there's a Doom on the Judo. Gonna get denied. You know the funniest? That's a funny interaction because you saw that Bignum took return damage when he was going to deny. If you're Slark and you go to deny a teammate that's under the effect of Gale or Doom, you steal their stats.
Do you really?
Yeah, you do.
Then they just die because you stole their health. It's like,
I mean, you get Essence Shift and like they respawn, and they have the debuff still.
Dude, what a broken strat.
I know, right?
Oh, mid lane.
Like, why'd you
What's
deny me
Timbersaw?
and steal my stats, you jerk? But looks like they're
Use
gonna
Timber Chain to kill him again.
Telekinesis back. Static Storm though from the rotation. There's the shock him though. They're gonna be able to get Jet. Timbersaw's still pretty full health. He popped a mana boost. That early vitality booster paying off a lot. Jet, double edge just for spite. He doesn't have shapeshift for like a minute and a half, but he'll awkwardly waddle away.
I've heard Surfer's pretty good at counter-initiating.
Ah, well, Flame Guard's pretty good. Max Flame Guard does a lot of damage. Free Radiance is pretty nice. Meanwhile, Centaur getting close to his Blink. Artist, he did go for the Phase Drums build, not opting for the Midas, which is something we normally see. Whereas Jet, he's going to be finishing up his Vlads pretty soon. Pretty late Vlads, all things considered. Meanwhile, Bignum, he's picked up his... he's picked up an Invis, so the solo kill potential is pretty high here.
Jet's so low.
Jet is so dead.
He's so
and
dead.
he got stomped by the Centaur!
So dead.
Man, each visitor getting ganked by 2, and he still gets the last hit on the tower. Is he going to be able to remnant away? He's actually going to kill Nyx.
Why would he remnant away when he can just kill their...
I don't know,
yeah,
man. He's going to remnant out of the trees. He has stick charges as well. Timbersaw comes in, Chomi throws out the Chakram as well, going to be slowing Gorik a lot, and the Timber Chain. Going to be missing, though, because he deforested right there. Throws out the Chakram again. But he needs to stick and bottle up. He can actually just go buy his point booster pretty soon, finish up that soul booster. How do you like to build Timbersaw for on your way to your Bloodstone? I've become a really big fan of building the soul booster.
I go Arcane Boots first, and...
Arcane Boots first is a given, but do you finish the soul booster, or do you get the point booster Perseverance?
I get a Ring of Health, at least, just because having infinite health regen is pretty nice with Reactor.
Okay, here's the better question. Have you ever built the soul booster first?
No, I have never.
Okay, so you haven't experienced it. Next time, try it, man. It's actually really cool. Let me pull up Bloodstone here. The soul booster gives you 100% mana regen. It gives you plus 4 HP regen, and then it gives you everything else. So it's basically like having a Ring of Health as well when you finish the soul booster. Plus you get all that HP. I don't know, man. It's almost like having the point booster Perseverance, but just better and for less money.
I didn't know Soul Booster gave you. I've never built one. I think like without just finishing a Bloodstone immediately. I never realized it actually had mana and HP regen. That's really weird.
Ink Visitor was trying to be ganked bottom lane, but gonna be immediately turned around.
Why does Soul Booster have 100% mana regen?
Because it's awesome.
That's ridiculous.
Isn't that great?
That's absurd. I never would have guessed that. Like,
well, Doom gonna be on to Chomi. He doesn't have his soul booster, but he is pretty tanky here. It's still 3 heroes. Soul and Chakram's gonna be there, and hopefully, you follow the mantra with Doom, which is press R, acquire kill.
Yeah,
so they do
good.
that.
It's a good spell, I've heard. It turns heroes off.
Yeah, you know who taught me about building soul booster first was Eric. He always does that.
Man, how did he tell you without talking? Oh wait.
I don't know.
Anyway,
but anyway, Mystic Flare leading me a fight mid. Arcane Bolt is there. But Doom, they still get the tower. There's a crit on the Sky. It takes a lot of his health, but Ink Visitor comes in. He has the Flame Guard. He knows that there's no Doom up there. No one's really focusing on anything. There's a Fade Bolt coming in as well, but the Stomp on 2. Double Edge onto 1 as well. Gorik, he's going to be taken down by the Slate of Fist as well, being chased by the Flame Guard, and he's going to go down, but Killit comes in, throws a Vendetta hit, doesn't know who to impale, just kind of
he's like,
wanders around, but there's the impale finally onto Judo. He's going to go down after the Mana Burn, but there's a lot of return damage on the Artist. He's going to have to regen from the Scorched Earth, and in the end, looks like a 2-for-1, but the mid tower does go down, and Ink Visitor shows off that finished Battle Fury as well.
That is a very fast...
Jet's just casually farming with Shapeshift. Now he's dead.
Okay. Anyway. Inquisitor's jacked. Like...
He's just been free farming, man. This is the way I love... It's not just because like this way I like to play or that I have the most success playing with it, but just in general, I'm a fan of 4 people making space while you get a tempo controlling farming hero that only needs maybe 1.5 items, and then just going and winning the game. Just letting free flame. Stampede's going to be used. Not. Oh, that was to kill the Nyx in the bottom lane. I saw Centaur, and then there just wasn't a Nyx anymore. So I'm like, why is he using Stampede?
In retrospect, I mean, this lineup for KPG, I mean, the way, like, it's pretty damn greedy. They have 2 supports that want level 6 particularly, very badly, so they're not going to be roaming a lot or doing anything like that. They're not a good roaming combination. They're okay, but they're not great. And
I mean, they want to. Rubik picked up 3 smokes right away.
Well, it's just like, well, now he has 3 smokes, but it's too late now. I mean, like, I meant like early on. Like Ember Spirit, he's easily killed pre-6. It's like ganking Storm Spirit. It's very similar. They're both very escapable level 6, but before then, you can take them out decently easily. Flame Guard certainly hurts. But...
he sees Inquisitor running towards him. He pops the smoke for the move speed. He's like, no!
Oh my god, get out of here. But that's why you carry 3 smokes, man, to escape. But they had no way to punish this Ember Spirit.
Well,
oh my god, kill it.
He was spotted under the Sentry Ward, but never mind. There's a DD rune on Timbersaw as well, but there's still a Mystic Flare going to be returned back, and Timber Chain going to be interrupted by this fight Carapace. He's trying to bottle up through this, but the Mana Burn and the Fable are going to be able to clean him up. That's actually a double kill for your Rubik. That's a lot of gold, 656 going his way, so lack of focus kind of showing there. In all these fights, it hasn't really been obvious that they're focusing one hero, and they kind of paid for it as KPG got the better of them in that fight.
Yeah, that was just a complete mix-up, and it was... Kill It kind of started off... I mean, Next Assassin does have this ability where if you get to choose who... You choose when and where to fight. He's kind of the Bat Rider in this game. There's really no great initiator in this game. Centaur certainly helps out as well, but he was not in that fight at all. And Next Assassin just threw the Skywrath Mage off, didn't let him get his combo off, and disrupting the Skywrath Mage is probably the most important thing. He's a lot of their damage right now. If you disjoint that and disrupt the silence and make him use it early, it's really nice because he was forced to silence the Nyx Assassin, and it just did not go their way once the fight started in favor of KPG, or they picked the fight, I guess.
Pretty good. Also, that's a stolen Mystic Flare that's, I mean, Rubik's not level 11, so it's only going to last for 3 minutes, I think? Yeah, 180 seconds. But the pickoff potential with that under an Impale, it's pretty great, and they realize it, so they're going to look for Inquisitor down the bottom lane. Vendetta going to be used, Howl is going to be used as well. There's a Vendetta hit, there's the Impale, there's the Mystic Flare, and the Telekinesis to follow. They're going to be able to clean him up right there. And now he steals Remnants. So he knew that he wasn't going to be able to keep Mystic Flare, steals Remnants right away. If I were him, I probably would have wanted to try to keep Mystic Flare, though.
Mystic Flare, the problem is, I mean, he uses it once, he's just, like, down to 1/3 mana. He just can't afford to hold on to it. Like, it's just... Getting one pick off with it is actually a pretty just nice usage of that immediately. I mean, you got 2 nice Mystic Flares off, did a lot of damage, and gets a cheaper spell. So I think it's just fine what he did, but I don't know. Mystic Flare does do a lot of damage, though. They could have maybe gotten one more of those kills, but...
the problem is that it only lasts for 3 minutes. Like, a level 1 spell steal, it's so hard to hold on to that spell. It's like when you steal Eclipse, which has like a 2-minute cooldown or something like that. Or like a 150-second cooldown, and you're a level 1 Rubik, and you're like, well, alright guys, I used this in a fight, we have a 30-second window where I can use this again. It's that way for a lot of spells, so. A lot of key items come up. Rubik finishes up his 4th staff. There's the 2nd Roche going to be up, and Lycan is going to be going for the Necronomicon. I think that's his Necro 1 on the Courier. Oh no, he actually just turns that Belt of Strength into his treads and is going straight for the BKB. That works too. Helps him fight a little bit earlier, and Chomi has finished up his Bloodstone, so. Didn't actually end up finishing the Soul Booster, kept the Arcane Boots, so I think that just kind of to help his team out, but he's not one of those guys that wastes 1,000 gold on keeping Arcane Boots as well as a Bloodstone. So,
that's just absurd.
I don't know, man. I get so mad when that happens.
Well, bottom lane tower almost certainly dead. They do use a Fortify, but there's no way they can defend this.
I mean, they're trading tier 2 top.
Yeah, if they can get it, well, it's a TP situation for KPG. They're going to come back and try to defend this, almost assuredly. Yeah, they got everything. They're going to come back.
They got the glyph and everything, but I think the period of time for your team, right after a Bloodstone is picked up, is so crucial. Because if you get 3 or 4 kills and your guy lives, well,
they're going deep here. BKB's used by the Doom. He's up on the front by himself with the BKB. There's no way they can do anything to him.
Yeah, they do the Disruptor right away. Very good choice. Nature's Wrath comes in. They get to deny anyway. Skywrath Mage gets it. There's going to be the Searing Chains as well. Remnant's going to be going back and forth. And the Mystic Flare is there as well. and there's going to be a kill immediately onto the Nyx Assassin. The Lycan's going to have a Davis pop immediately. Centaur goes down in the meantime. Inquisitor manning up on Artis. There's the Timber Chain as well to shock him through. Sleighted is going to be able to clean him up. Jet, he's not doing so well, and now all of a sudden Timbersaw, 11 Bloodstone charges in the meantime. Skywrath Mage gets picked off by the Rubik towards the backside of the fight in the trees. And they're going to turn this into a push, but the important thing is that your Timbersaw lives, your Ember Spirit lives. That's your D push. You don't want Timbersaw to die there, because now he has 11 Bloodstone charges. This next 10 minutes of the game is a lot easier. It's kind of a weird thing too. Oh, Timber Chain going to be used as a remnant coming in from Inquisitor behind. He gets his Searing Chains on the Jet as well. He's taking a lot of damage. Kinetic Field is there, but that's a stolen one. And the Timber Chain going to be stolen by Rui. It's going to help him get away. In the meantime, they're going to be looking for Jet. Jet, no, he's going down towards the Secret Shot, but he's totally dead.
He's got OTP, he's pretty dead. And what we're seeing, they welcome a little bit there. And all right, well, so I don't know. Okay, going back to the first fight that happened, that was about to be a disaster for Kompas. There was a
Vendetta hit onto Timbersaw as well. Chomi, he's getting Mana Burn, he's getting Telekinesis, Fade Bolt. There's going to be the Timber Chain through. Can he get up to the tree? Stampede's going to use Negative Burn Charge. Is it going to get him? 18.7 reach in. God, that's... Man, Timbersaw is a good hero. Meanwhile, in the backside, Kinetic Field double kill going to be for Inquisitor right away. Shows off his Chrysalis as well. Almost has that Daedalus at 22 minutes.
He's jacked. He's just super jacked. And back to what I was going to attempt to say. There was they would have lost that 2-2 top and been destroyed in that fight if there was a Blink Centaur stomp that was going to hit 3 heroes, and there was going to be a follow up from the Ember Spirit, and then there was an Impale that disrupted that stomp and actually kept 3 heroes pretty much alive and allowed Kompas to do as well as they did in that situation. They overextend trying to find towers and pickoffs and losing a lot of heroes after the fight, but it could have been a lot worse for them.
Well, good on you, Killick.
Yeah, he plays exclusively bugs.
That's like you during that one phase, but Bignum going to be able to... he's going to go for his own Bloodstone. Very, very greedy and on this hero in particular, just because he lacks mobility a lot. And normally you want to build something like a Force Staff, just nice and early, but Killick going to walk in range of the Sentry Ward, going to get Ancient Seal, going to get Mystic Flare. Timbersaw going to Timber Chain in range for that kill for his Bloodstone charge, and the whole team's here.
Yes, they are.
Yep, Stampede going to be used as well. Jet pops a Shapeshift to get away. But this is going to transition to a push to the Tier 1. And OSG looking in very firm control of this game number 2. Same way that they were in game number 1, albeit coming off of a little bit of a different path.
There were a few questionable fights. I mean, the one fight that went bad mid for them where they lost 3 heroes was Centaur just not being there, and he's your guy. Like, you need him to help win these fights and set up these AoE combos. Yeah, he's looking pretty good.
Yeah, everyone's looking to have a lot of farm. We're looking at the EXP graph. It's pretty even. Gold graph is actually 0. Interestingly enough, most of that is just coming out from the split push, coming out from both Doom, Nature's Prophet, as well as the Roshan event. He's gotten 2 Roshes, so gold being even for them is really not so much, just because it's kind of like when you're ahead on towers and you're taking even fights, it's like worse, because they're basically taking even fights with less money. I hope that analogy makes sense.
Who even knows, man?
I mean, I would hope you would.
I honestly wasn't even paying attention.
Wow, thanks.
I'm sorry.
All right, what do you think? It looks like Timbersaw. Did he pick up a blink? He finished something. When did Chomi finish? He got an ultimate orb, so probably looking to build a Lincoln Sphere right away. That's a very, very good item on Timbersaw, because it helps him in the region, helps him in the stats, which he doesn't have the greatest stat gain, especially except for like his strength and intel are pretty good for what he has, but he has to build some pretty good stat items to keep his to make sure he can keep spamming all of his spells pretty reliably. And the Lincoln Sphere are particularly good against Doom. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Stampede's going to be used defensively, but Judo, he just gets telekinesis, he's just going to TP out. Fine for him.
Well, he's dead.
Wait, he's dead?
He got,
I guess Doom TP'd in, huh?
Oh, okay. I was wondering what canceled the channel, but Level Death apparently cancels channels. So, Level Death caught him out there. So he does go down.
Yeah, I did not spot the Doom TPing in there, but Daedalus finished on Inquisitor. But yeah, Chomi looking. You could look for a Scythe of Ice as well. Scythe is pretty good, but I just like I just think Blink is so.
I think Blink's absurdly good on him. I think Lincoln's into Blink would be really nice.
Well, I guess he's not looking for the initiation because they already have the Blink on Centaur, so if he can get a Lincoln Sphere up for his team as well, I think that's good as well.
Ashiva's for him would be good too. He's got a couple of decent items he could go for. There's a lot of good choices for him, so... Top lane. If you can try and defend this,
and trading towers against the pushing lineup is totally fine. So.
Yep, they're only down 1 tower in total towers, so they're probably okay with that. And well, Ember Spirit, he's their guy this game. Like he is their late game, so they have to make sure they protect him to the fullest extent of.
I mean, he's 8-2. He's doing all right.
He's doing good. He's doing good. I'm just like saying, like in these upcoming fights, like they need to make sure he's their guy because KPG they have like a bunch of different physical damage dealers. I mean, the Doom is starting to get places. Oh.
Bottom lane, speaking of Doom, going on to Inquisitor.
He hasn't come into Doom. It's still on cooldown. 4
seconds, 3 seconds. BKB is done. Skywrath finishes up the Bloodstone anyway. Remnant coming up. Can he get the Searing Chains? Slate, he missed the Searing Chains though. And there's going to be the Centaur. Doom going to be on the Inquisitor finally, but he gets Double Edge. There's going to be a Spell Stolen. It's going to be Searing Chains. Inquisitor going to be chased out. Going to eat a Fade Bolt to the face, but still getting the region from that Battle Fury. And he should be able to survive this. Buys an Ultimate Orb. So it looks like he's going to be going for his own Lincoln Sphere. Gives him some stats, and he's going to be able to survive through the Doom.
Yeah, he needs one, just 100%. I think
if you get 2 Lincoln Spheres like on the team, especially on the high impact heroes, you can't Doom both Timbersaw and Ember Spirit through Lincoln Spheres. Yeah. You don't have the spells, and if you're going to commit all that single target, by the way, Nature's Prophet did die. Not sure exactly how that happened, but then if one of them's alive in a fight, I think that's enough. And your BKBs aren't going to be forever, so like Timbersaw's damage is still going to be great.
Killick going to try and make something happen here, maybe from the backside, but Rubik might be in a bit of a stickier situation.
Yeah.
Dead situation. Well, so is Disruptor potentially. Oh.
I mean, being dead is a sticky thing.
Oh, Killick. Good effort, buddy.
I don't know, man. I
think that's a finished Aghanims for Disruptor? Yes, it is.
He's pretty low, but yeah, he's got a finished Aghanims, I think. Is it on the Courier? Yes, it is. So, he's going to go home, get that up, so now he can start getting his mobility up, get his Blink Dagger or Force Staff, whatever his heart desires. Jet, looks like he's going to be going for the Skull Basher, going to be trying to get some control on either of these heroes, but still, getting it is very difficult. Searing Chains on the Artist, I think it all comes down to him. Like, late in the game, it's still really hard to go late game against Furion, Lycan on the Dire side, as well as Refresher Doom. Not to mention Nyx Assassin is a support. That scales pretty decently, as well as Rubik. Rubik, whenever he gets mobility items, he can turn a team fight. That's kind of why those heroes like Rubik, Leshrac, Mirana are really popular in the Chinese scene, just because compared to other supports, they just scale a lot better. Judo and Goric just going to take a casual pass at each other and go their separate ways. Looks like a Force Staff coming out, as well as a Lincoln Sphere finished up for Inquisitor. Or he has the recipe on the Courier for some reason. Maybe he bought that thinking he would die. Or something.
Who even knows?
4-man smoke coming up. They don't know if Roche is up yet or not. Looks like the line is drawn to loop around. They know they're in mid lane because of the creeps. Looks like they're going to try to doom someone here. There's the Stampede used. And Nature's Prophet going to go down in the midst of his jungle. So do they decide to fight without the Nature's Prophet? I think that they should.
I don't think they want to.
Yeah, that would be ungood maybe. Timbersaw checks the Roche. He picks up a Sheepstick. So Sheepstick good too. Being able to hex the Doom, especially if you can get him, it's a one fight. I think without Doom, they can't win any single fight.
I think you're right. I think they need to take out one of those cores with the Doom to actually achieve anything.
35.2 mana regen.
That's pretty good.
That's not bad. Last I heard.
Quite a bit of that.
The best is whenever, like, just early game when you level up Shock and you're like, oh, why did I do this? Because you throw it out and then you pull it back in, you're like, that's all my mana. And later in the game when you can just leave a Chakram out, I just feel so good.
It's a good feel. Oh, that Flame Guard Rubik will never die.
I think that he could. He looks cool.
Nope. He does.
Yeah.
He looks way cooler with that on than Ember Spirit does.
Yeah, he does. And Rubik's just a fly dude, man.
Yeah, he's got the pop color and everything. Well, they're just trying to deflect damage from this tower.
This is just the same thing that happened last game. They just kind of realized they didn't need much initiation. They just have to say, come at me. Like, our counter initiation is really good. And there's going to be the Hex immediately on the Doom. That's a 30-second cooldown they're not going to have. There's a BKB popped immediately. Molnir charge is put on the Jet as well. Looks like he's going to get the Doom on the Ink Visitor, but he's going to be healed by something. I guess it was a Bloodstone Suicide. I have no idea.
Yeah, it was Bloodstone Suicide, but it's not going to be enough.
Someone came back instantly, though. I guess it was a Timber Chained as well. But Judo still getting focused down. In the meantime, he was able to force Staff out of the Sprout. On the backside of the fight, it looks like Disruptor being chased down by the Nyx. Artist chasing down Scarlet Mage as well. But Ink Visitor does ultimately go down. In the meantime, Disruptor does go down as well. So, showing off that BKB Lycan for the first time. And Timbersaw, yeah. So Timbersaw, Timber Chained, suicided in the middle of that, and then came back instantly and Timber Chained back into the fight. Sad that I missed that, but that's where he got all that health from.
The problem here is that the only physical damage is Ember Spirit, and he cannot stand and fight. Like, he can't sit there and whack away dudes and be okay with it, because he'll just be dead. And
At
that's
least
the third
until the
Roshan.
Lincolns is done. He's pretty close to it. He needs...
The Lincolns will help, but I don't know if that's honestly enough. I think he's going to need a BKB this game as well.
The
getting
ultimate
doomed obviously
Humanoid build,
doesn't
the
help,
Lincolns and BKB.
I don't like it typically, but I mean, when you're... I don't know how else he lives, honestly. Like, he's just going to get demolished.
He basically just has to be alive. Like, he doesn't have to build damage.
Yeah, and like, he has Daedalus Battle Fury. He does plenty of damage. He just needs to stay alive to use it for more than one side of fist. Like, that fight, he just got destroyed, so... I don't know. An Aegis as well would have been really nice for them, but, I mean, having the... not being on the Dire side is...
Classic Dire side advantage, man.
I think they should have played it a bit more cautiously and gone for a Roshan fight first. It would have been way easier to take. I think they were a bit too aggressive going for the tier 3 that early. Or not that early, but without having an Aegis.
It looks like it's going to be an Atos pickup for your Skywrath Mage. Not going to work against the Lycan that has Shapeshift, obviously. But still pretty good item on Skywrath Mage because of Concussive Shot as well as the Rod of Atos Slow.
Bottom lane, Gorak's getting gone on by Timbersaw, but he should be able to TP out here at some point. Oh, never mind.
I mean, Timbersaw has a lot of burst damage. Meanwhile, on the top lane, Judo, he's going to get doomed there. TP's in immediately, but Manburn's going to be able to finish it off. Oh, goodbye, Bignum. Now he's down to 2 Bloodstone
They need
charges.
all of their heroes to fight this. Like, Timbersaw being bottom lane is a ton of their damage on the supports. Like, he's their support killer, and their Lycan killer. And if they don't have him, then they're problems. But Ember Spirit's just has DD who's going to work mid lane. They have a glyph? No, they don't. He could just finish the Sprax off and maybe gets bashed.
Remnants away.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Static Storm going to be committed to, well, try to keep himself alive, but not going to be able to do it.
Oh, Jet. Taking a ton of damage in the mid lane. Once again, Ink Visitor doing a ton of work on Gorak.
Oh my gosh.
Destroys him with a crit. And that's going to be Rax now. And
Work.
that was well handled. I thought things were not going to go up in them on that regen. That's a big old boner kill right there.
You're like, why do you stop right-clicking this? This is why you should pick Enchantress every game. She's the best hero against backdoor regen. You just enchant one creep, doesn't matter where the creeps are. You want BKB going to be popped from Doom? Who's he going to do? Throws the level death.
They got
wanted to see if there's a Lincoln here, but oh my god!
Oh my god, the
He gets
damage.
interrupted as well from the spike careful, so there's a shock as well, but Timbersaw so hard to bring down, so tanky. He has a lot of gold as well. But there's going to be Aegis dropped immediately, Gemma drops as well, but Jet gets blown up from the Mystic Flare.
And
That's going to be a
this is
double
what
kill for Ink
happens.
Visitor. Doom is the only one alive. This is going to be Brain React as well. Timbersaw throwing out the Timber Chain onto that ward, showing that he cannot latch to it. Gem is picked up by your Skywrath Mage. Up to 4 Bloodstone charges again, and
Well, that's what happens when you can't focus the Ember Spirit, pretty much. In a 5,
goes heart. Does he go heart?
I think
I think he goes heart.
that would
He
be-
goes heart.
Dyer's
Cool.
bottom tower is
no, it's
under
going
attack.
Satanic.
Wow, that's
That's a terrible decision.
that would be
But,
awful. That's
they're gonna
almost
get-
worse than Refresher Timbersaw.
They're gonna get 2 sets of racks here, and that's just
Yeah,
gonna
buybacks
be
are.
almost
There
dead,
are
I think.
buybacks. They can buy back to try to find this. Lycan buys back
Although why
immediately.
did we-
There's
so
Killick.
long?
He uses the Manburn to pop the Lincoln as well, but Jet comes in, He's going to be using his BKB to avoid the glimpse. They're going on to Chomi. He gets bashed. There's so much damage. But he's going to be able to Timber Chain away at the last second. In the meantime, Artist, he gets Ancient Sealed as well. Timbersaw does go down in the meantime, but he's back in 10 seconds because his Bloodstone charges. So I'm going to be on the 2. But now, Obi-Wan, he's going to be trying to be focused. He throws down the Static Storm. The Kinetic Field not going to latch on anyone except Jet. Mystic Flare going to be airballed as well. Artist is going to be going after the Skywrath Mage. There's going to be 2 that are committing to that. In the meantime, in the back of the fight, there's going to be a suicide from the Bloodstone from the Skywrath Mage. But now, Judo. What do they have? They have Hoof Stomp as well, so going to be able to tell. He's going to be able to Hoof Stomp as well. Going to be Airball, but doesn't matter. Going to get a Skill Bash as well. Right click from the Nature's Prophet, going to be able to clean that up. So buybacks ultimately saving the Rax. That was a melee Rax as well, so that's going to be able to regen. Creeps mid are going to be totally doing just fine as well. But Timbersaw still has 11 blood. This is the great thing about having Bloodstone is that it's like you have free buyback all the time if you just keep taking good fights.
It's pretty nice. I'd like to see him actually get the boots travel now as opposed to finishing. Well, you could finish the heart, which would be good.
I think
getting the boots travel is
I think
so
finishing the heart
good.
actually takes priority.
I think either is good. Having boots travel with with the Bloodstone is ridiculously good. Like, that's absurd.
Timber Chain in, Hex immediately, Shocking, Whirling Death, going to be able to secure him right away. That burst damage, so good. Stop getting blood on his blades. Kuluk comes in, he pops the Lincolns right away, but the dodge with the Sleight of Fist going to be dodging the Impale as well. BKB going to be popped from Jet and the Big Shift as well. Ink Visitor, he's going to go down. This is a danger. Now Furion, he's hitting pretty hard too with this Molnir, and he's barely built anything else. Looks like he's going to be going for his own BKB. So BKBs galore going to be coming out. This is becoming a slowly very intense game.
Ember Spirit doesn't have buyback for 65 seconds. I mean, he's dead for 65 seconds and has no buyback, so they could be in a bit of trouble here. So, I mean, this is a Lycan.
I think they have enough anti-push with, if for nothing else, than the high ground threat of the Static Storm, as well as the spam from the Show Me as well.
Yeah, they'll cower it out. Won't even try it.
I still think the late game is still pretty hard for KPG because they basically have 3 right-clicking cores, and the reason that just getting more and more right-clicking cores as opposed to initiators on your team became popular was just because of the late game security. It's like it doesn't really matter as far as initiation goes. That's why like super late game you see people start selling the mobility items going for damage or survivability items. Just because the game kind of matters a bit less. Like initiation is great, and we kind of think like, well, Force Sap, Blink Dagger like are really good late game items just because positioning is so important. But whenever you just have 3 people that can just right click you, as opposed when your other team has 1, which is what they have in the Ember Spirit. I mean, once BKB comes out, yeah, they're going to be 4 seconds, so Timbersaw is going to have kind of a hard time. But it just doesn't matter almost because you have dudes that can right-click through BKB. You're not going to buy Ghost Scepters and Death Blades on everyone as well, and not everyone's going to build super tanky. So I still think that OSG need to try to get a little bit more done with the lead that they currently have.
I agree 100%. I'm complete concurrence with you. Or no, not yes, I am.
Blink, Telekinesis back onto the Disruptor, but the whole team's there, so they're all pretty apprehensive. Molnir Charge, God, Doom looks so ridiculous with the Molnir Charge. Look at it. He's the only hero that looks like this too.
Yeah, he's a little silly looking.
Like it all reflects on him.
I agree.
Lots of dewarding as well. Just the who has the gem? There are 2 gems, right? No, there's only 1 gem on the next assassin. I thought that there was a gem on the side of OSG, but just being really aggressive with the dewarding. Chomi's going to be finding a bunch of heroes here. Finds Kulik, but there's the Spike to Carapace, but there are 3 other heroes surrounding him. He has his heart done. There's a Hex. There's a Doom immediately, though. He's going to go down. No question.
It's going to take a while, but yeah, he'll go down very easily here. And I mean,
you're just so used to being able to find
no
a
reason
hero
to be there.
Kill them. Well, you're just so used to be able to finding a hero and killing them immediately as Timbersaw that sometimes it's a little bit hard. But the smoke coming out from the courier. Sleight of Fist just going to be spammed on the creeps. Hope they didn't notice.
I think they might have.
I think Inquisitor just, you know how when you're playing Weaver and you Sakushi just thoughtlessly? I think that's what happened. He just saw creep waves and he's like, ooh, press W to acquire gold, and oh yeah, I forgot we were trying to gank them. But still,
there is a Glut back up once again. No Timbersaw.
No Timbersaw. He doesn't have the boots to travel either. He smokes to try to get a little bit more movement speed. They can start working on this range barracks. There's a blink. Telekinesis coming in. There's going to be the level death as well. Static's going to be committed. The Mystic Flare going to be shared, though. There's going to be the Nyx bursted down immediately. In the meantime, the back of the fight looks like Gorik is going on to someone else. Inquisitor actually manages to get away. Artis, his BKB's run out. He's really low health. He's going to go down to the Skywrath Mage as well. Jet, he's having to get back to the base. He's having to jet back to the base, if you know what I mean. Bignum throws out the Mystic Flare as well. Judo going to be ushering there back to the base. Then Doom, he buys back immediately, but he's just kind of standing around. Glyph is going to be used. Melee racks should go down as well, and that's all Timber saw in the fight. Now he's here. Timber Chain just threw the racks for some reason. And Jet, he doesn't have Shapeshift for 5 seconds. This is going to be 2 sets of racks. They need to go for Megas here, though. I really feel they need to go Megas here.
If Inquisitor is allowed to live for more than like 2 Sleight of Fists, then Kompas just lose the fight. They have to kill him immediately. They need the Doom for him, or else they just get annihilated, pretty much.
Yeah, he is going Refresher. Late game Refresher Doom, still pretty hard
really
to deal
good.
with.
But when you have 2 racks down, it's a little less good.
I mean, it's just as good, but the circumstances.
It is, but your circumstance is pretty trash, and you're not too pleased with how.
There's a Hex immediately on the Jet.
He's
going to get Blink stopped. Otherwise, he's going to blow up. The Mystic Flare going to be committed as well, but Inquisitor gets Doom. He's going to be having to use the Stampede to try to go away, but was getting right click from Gorg. He's going to go down. There's another. That's actually a double kill. He's just right clicking people. He does not decide to buy back, but Jet does buy back, and there's a Fade Bolt. Or actually, just some burst is able to kill, but that's actually 4 dead right away. Timberstill's the only one alive. Skywrath Mage actually did use the Bloodstone Suicide, though, so tried to heal up a bit, but it was a bit in vain, so he has that on cooldown for a little bit. But when you're against 2 lanes of Mega Creeps, it's so hard to just go push down the lane after a 1 fight like this. But, hey, look, Dire Side advantage. You get their 4th Roche of the game.
What an advantage. It's pretty nice. It's the only thing keeping them in this game, but...
We see this time and time again. It's just some games are like extended when Dire's behind just because they always have Roach, and it's just with Lycan, it's so hard to punish. They just can so damn quick.
And all your heroes are dead. It's so hard to punish too. But,
that makes it kind of difficult as well.
Yeah, but
to do things from beyond the grave, and we see it's pretty topsy-turvy as far as the EXP and gold graph. Not really getting ridiculously out of control. I think the KPG do have the power of the rat, though. And Furon, he hasn't built damage. He's getting close to that side of the device. Had the Ogre Club, going to go in for the BKB, but decided that they needed to disable a bit more. But now the scary part happens, as the Refresher is now finished on Doom. So he's sacrificing the buyback. He does have it on cooldown. So you just buy the items anyway. But now there can be a Doom both on Timbersaw and on your Ember Spirit. And then what do you have in a fight? Besides just a really tanky Centaur. Also, Radiant Courier just going to casually fly all the way over here and grab that gem. Stampede going to be committed. There's a stolen Stampede as well, but Gorik, after the Ancient Seal, he's still going to be able to get away. And
Doom's used on Timbersaw, and I think that's a terrible idea. Well, he's a Refresher. Never mind. It's not terrible anymore. But
oh my gosh, the Mystic Flare on the Gorik, but the Sprout giving vision. They can just right-click Reebok or Chomi, and he's going to go down. That's 4 heroes committed for him. Got him.
They got him in. Well, the thing is, they have another Doom. Like, if they didn't have a
Well, never mind. The backside of the fight, there's going to be a status on committed on the Jet. He's just right-clicking people. There's a Refresher use, and the level death of Papa Lincoln's Doom. That's on the Inquisitor as well. The Sweetest Guard is there as well, and the Flamer is going to be stolen by Rubik. He's blinking up. He's body blocking. Judo comes in and stomps onto the Doom, but the teleport in from the Nature's Prophet. Our KPG doing it. Are you kidding me? This is the second 4-man wipe for them, and their lanes are being pushed out. OSG.
That Refresher Roar, man, I was making jokes about it not having anything, not accomplishing anything, but when you take 2 separate fights like that, Chomi farming in a position that he just couldn't be in against a Doom.
Gosh. Now they have Refresher Doom and they have a Hex, so whoever's not doomed, you get a Hex. Yeah. And this guy hits hard. It's Prophet already hitting for 175 without even building something like a Desolator, something like a Necronomicon. Speaking of which, this is also the damage that KPG are doing without building Necrobooks on the Lycan of the Nature's Prophet, which are still to come, I'm sure.
Yep.
Oh, Chomi.
Missing his Temper Chain. That could be a problem.
Oh, Vendetta is there. He's dead.
He's actually just going to die. That hurts.
He has buyback.
He has buyback, so it's not over.
He buys back immediately. Wants to set that timer on the cooldown. He's down to 4 Bloodstone charges, though, and he has almost no money. So they're going to be trying to do this here. There's going to be the glimpse back, though. Actually stolen from Rubik? I'm not hallucinating, right? Judo was just glimpsed back. And he's on the same team as the Disruptor.
We don't ask questions.
I did that.
Just accept it.
Did you see that one game where No Tail is playing Kunkka and like there was an X march the spot glitch where it just showed like 2 different spots?
I did not see that.
So these global ganks are doing really well.
They're
by the way.
just right now. Like Visitors in a way too poor position.
The Hex coming in though. After the Lincolns is popped, there's a Doom. It's ready. He doesn't have a refresher, but he's gonna Doom Inquisitor. Once again, there's a Flame Guard coming in, but the Shotgun is there. Again, the Mystic Flare coming in, but not doing too much damage. He's actually split. That's gonna be a double kill for Gork. He's just sitting and right-clicking through the Molder Charge, doing so much. He doesn't care about the Whirling Death and the Timber Chain as well. Judo, he's coming back. He's getting bashed. This is 5 against 2. This is gonna be a team wipe. And Gork getting so low down to 43 HP, but Timbersaw, he's going to be able to Timber Chain away. No, there's a blink from Doom. He gets a Timber Chain, he's back in base, but he can't defend on his own. This is going to be a tower. This is going to be right. This could be a game.
That's it. That's
Are you kidding me?
Ember Spirit's not back for
Are
60
you
seconds.
kidding me? Kyle.
I mean,
I talked about this, but they're going for throw. They know they can. Their Glyph is going to be used. The Duck is going to be coming back soon. Jet. He has a lot of damages right now as well.
They've won the game. It's like, this is the problem with Ember Spirit is you can't like without someone like someone like a Doom or a Dragon Knight or someone you can has an impact on team fights is really taking the front line for you. Ember Spirit's just way too fragile.
They're just going for the throne right now. BKB going to be popping. Inquisitor attacks right away even after he buys back. Mystic Flare going to be there, but Gork has a BKB on. Now they're just going to be going for the throne. They don't want to call it just yet, but they can just hit the throne and win. Gork, this is the master of right-clicking people, and there's going to be the Ancient Seal as well. Stop. Is there going to be a double edge? No. Yes! There will be, but Artist comes in. Oh, the throne dies! And in the end, after the items come up, and pick off after pick off after pick off, and good defenses, KPG force us to a game 3. What a comeback. So.
Chomi's positioning in the last 10-15 minutes killed them. Like, they had the lead, like you said, and they should have done more with it when they had it, because, like you said, 3 heroes, 3 cores that do well with farm, Rubik and Nyx Assassin as well. You have to try and end it earlier, but they just couldn't do it, and not going after that BKB might have also cost Inquisitor as well, but the Dooms, I mean, the refresher was the nail in the coffin, catching Chomi out in that top lane that one time, I think, and it hurts, man. It hurts for them to have to live through that game, but yeah, game 3 incoming.
Yep, absolutely. So, once again, this is being brought to you by Heflatv. We're going to be going straight into game 3, so don't go anywhere. See you in just a couple minutes.